The curious case of Aaron Pfitzner, the man who never was. In the dusty archives of the National Records Office, buried between birth certificates and long-forgotten census rolls, there is a single, smudged page bearing the name Aaron Pfitzner. No birth date, no place of origin, no next of kin. Just a name and a note. Investigated 1952, status unsubstantiated. The story begins in the autumn of 1951 in New South Wales, Australia, when a stranger arrived in the small town of Inverleigh. He wore a pressed wool suit, too fine for the dust and drought, and carried a leather valise that he never let out of his sight. He introduced himself as Aaron Pfitzner, a government consultant conducting infrastructure reviews. At first, the townsfolk welcomed him. He was polite, paid in cash, and asked lots of questions about roads, train timetables, and local wells. That was a bit odd, but nothing alarming. Then strange things began to happen. Mail stopped arriving on schedule. The town's only telephone line began crackling with static and fragments of conversation from faraway places. A child swore she saw Mr. Pfitzner walking into an empty post office one night through a locked door. The baker, a pragmatic man, said he watched Aaron's reflection move differently than the man himself. Then, just as suddenly as he appeared, Aaron Pfitzner vanished. The room he had rented above the pub was found untouched. Clothes still folded, bed unslept in, valets gone. There were no fingerprints, no hair, no traces of anyone ever having stayed there. Even the entry in the guest book disappeared. The ink had faded into nothing. When investigators came weeks later, they found only confusion. Witnesses gave conflicting descriptions. Some said Aaron was clean-shaven with dark eyes. Others remembered a moustache with grey hair. One woman insisted he was American. Another swore she heard him speak fluent Russian. And so the rumours spread.